Ô ô thì stream rồi ấy. Thế ping ping chưa? Ừm, thế ổn ổn rồi hay là lót ping, đi? Còn như thấy lên từ phút trước mà. Thế thế từ ping ấy nhá. Ô kê, ô kê. Thế, lót ở đây không? Hello.
We are up. Hello, everyone. It is time for the CD review and the Mapple showcase of our tournament. I believe the Mapple showcase goes first, as opposed to the usual procedure of showing the seedings first. But like, it kinda is short because we only have like 17, 18 players signing up for a quality lobby, so I don't really see a reason to like put it on top priority right now. So let's get started with the Mapple showcase. First and foremost,
Circles.
so for our first map, we have Jinjin's Eternal Drain. This is a fairly old map. I don't know if like any of you guys are classic, like kind of mid-era Osu Mania 7k players, but maybe if you are, you might know this map. Yeah, your typical Jinjin's Delay Another. With the map being at level 8 as assigned in the div name, the map sits pretty nicely in our Ro16 Mappool, which is just below MWC's Ro16 last year. There is quite a good amount of these bursts and streams at the start already, which is very typical for a 7k speed delay based map. You get some of it here as well, though I think the form is more complex at the intro. Here it's more like continuous simple streams, so it is not as tricky to execute. Okay, I believe the course is getting very near and we have these streams to build up. Here it is. More frequent double usages as well as snap changes. I believe it switches between 1/6, 1/8, and is there 1/9? Okay, there is no 1/9. There's only 1/6 and 1/8. Dude, if there is 1/9, I would be kind of impressed because it's a bit hard to catch for the players, but at this point, I don't think you guys are gonna rely on rhythm a lot anymore. It's just like seeing the notes and hitting them at this point. And yeah, that's it for our speed pick. Bit of a classic just to lead you guys into a bit and kind of like a trip down memory lane, but let us contrast that with a custom map. Hello? It's still not showing up. Please give us a bit of time to fix this technical issue. Sorry. Uh, Let me just. Is not the right layout. Okay, funny enough, this map is. Wait, I just realized the speed map is like OD 8.5. That is irregularly high for a speed pick in a tournament, but like. It kind of balances out anyways. This is like early round and everyone gets to play the same OD, so does it even matter at this point? Maybe it does if you want to compare accuracy, but let's just talk about our next pick for now. I believe it's coming up right now. Shooting Silver Bullet by Rough Curve. Yup, our first custom map of the round.
So coming for this pick, it should be a consistency cross-stream map.
Yes, indeed, it is most of the time consistency based. I'm kind of inclined to believe that early game cold stream is also somewhat dense, so that it also like it's semi-dense, like moderate density, so that it has stamina and consistency at the same time. It's like an in-between of the usual cold stream dense consistency and cold stream light stamina of later rounds. But I'm not that experienced in 7K, so please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just doing my best as a commentator. All the patterns so far are pretty like, straightforward, except for some of the mini jacks that are there. There are also some bursts and irregular rhythms shown here. I think that's like the most intrusive it gets in this map, and honestly, it's not enough to really classify this as a mixed rice pick because our actual mixed rice map is much more irregular and erratic.
Yeah, for most of the map, I can see that they are double stair and some bursts. Yeah,
Hmm. And
yeah.
that's
So
about it for our court stream pick. And as usual, I don't think we'll be like straying off too much from the usual structure of other tournaments. So coming up is our court jack pick. Another classic this time. Even though it doesn't date back as early as 2018, I think 2020 is still pretty ancient in the ultimate scope of things in the tournament scene. We're expecting like many custom maps, so seeing something from 2018 or 2020 even is kind of a rare sight.
yeah, let's switch to the next map.
For our next map, we have Lost Memory by the Dark Dragon. I believe this is a custom map for the ancient MP7k2. Let me just get the name of this thing. I cannot pronounce it, and oh well. This is a pretty standard pick. It clocks in at 104.5 BPM, and the density is somewhat high, so it allows for some tricky patterning combinations, which may or may not be a bit more demanding. I'm not sure if our player base of this tournament prefers light core jack or denser core jack. Lighter ones usually have more finger control and transition difficulty, while denser ones may allow for trickier finger control, but it can also be easily surpassed by very high level players. It creates the situation of you either can or cannot play it at all. Yep, the first few jack patterns, we start with a few basic long jacks and right into the chorus. 1 minute of continuous non-stop chord jack patterns. This is, I suppose, semi-dance. So there are some awkward transitions between types of chords, brackets, I don't know. And there's also the stamina factor of having to continuously hit so many chords at the same time. So there's this kind of multiple layers of difficulty intertwining into each other to create the final difficulty of this map. And it slots in nicely into our round of 16 map pool.
Yeah, I
It
think
very
the
dense.
yeah, it's really is. I think the pattern is not something too challenging, but it's really stamina draining.
Indeed. It does get a bit harder towards the end, so that's something you guys should watch out for. Okay, I did mention that our Rice 2 it may be a bit unorthodox, but definitely not wild party enough to be a mixed rice pick. So I wonder if you guys are curious for the design of our mixed rice. Or maybe you already know the map beforehand. In either case, have fun, I guess. This is I sure hope this is not a tournament reuse because the description does set for tourney. So I have a reason to be a bit worried. Is this? I think it is maybe an MCNC reuse, but I haven't seen the 2024 map pool yet. Okay, it is an MCNC 7k 2024 reuse. God damn it, I cannot run away from reuses from big tournaments. And there you go, Apollo by Turks. This, I believe, is the Ro16 Rice 4 for MCNC 7k 2024. OD7, of course. It's not that conventional after all. If you already know this song, you might be a bit horrified by the song's erratic nature and its exceedingly high BPM of 274. We already start off with these very tricky delay escape patterns. This is like 27.4 BPM broken delay streams, delay bursts. So it will be a challenge to hit properly with good act. Ooh, these big streams. These are going to be a major difficulty increase. Oh, those jacks as well. The mixed nature of this app is truly kicking in. And it does get supported by the fact that the BPM has decreased to 210 now. So it allows for more versatile and very patterning aside from this usual burst. We have these slightly denser streams, but it gets reduced back to very weird 250 BPM streams. Back again to 274 with more of these irregular bursts. Here we are to the chorus. We are encountered with chord jacks. Oh, kind of did not expect that, I'm not gonna lie. I did not see this map beforehand, and that is a pretty nice compensation for the lack of jacks throughout the map. But damn, is it absolutely tricky to hit when it's combined with 1/4 burst. It gets the most tense at the end. I believe the difficulty indicator in the editor spikes up a lot in this final section, and it does show towards a very tricky jack patterns, as you can see. And now it goes to resolve one last time with this massive speed up, and that is like 157 BPM chord stream, I believe. You really cannot get a break with this map at all. I guess the map poolers decided that one MCNC reuse is not enough, and we have a second one of the exact same round and iteration of MCNC. We have Stance with Spiz. Well, yep, you saw it. A lot of erratic, irregular jacks combined with tricky and very fast quick cut races. It's really contrasting to our last mixed rice pick, which was more flowy in nature. Here we have more irregular and rigid patterns. We have some reels, more tricky graces and delay patterns, as well as some mini jacks. Not really mini jacks, but rather like very dense, very light chord jack, like speed jack kinda. Not enough to really force you to wrist jack, but it creates more of like a tricky nature in the map. We have so much to uncover in just like 2 minutes of this map. It really is scary to see all these floods and streams and burst mini jacks all coming in. They combine together to make this very unorthodox fiesta of technical patterns, truly living up to the name of our tech slot. And it does get supported by this song as well. You may or may not have known Sovereign, most of you will do, and if you do, you will have known this guy's absolute golden madness in his music. This combination of classical, some jazz, and techno electronic creates room for a lot of weird transitions. This is just so much to talk about, and I just cannot catch up very well. There's a triple jack. Oh my god. They really put triple jacks here already. Well, good luck, I guess. I heard that jacks are very unconventional for 70 players to hit, so I really hope you guys are ready for this tech pick. If you aren't already, if you haven't already played this somewhere. The uploads coming soon to your house. I just realized that I talked so much and the streamer was muting me all this whole time. I'm kind of depressed now. Anyways, let us not be distracted by the wild comment chat section right now and focus on the fact that we get Umeboshi Chesuke in our sound team. Welcome. And it is such a nice appearance, especially in around as early as round of 16. Pick up. And the map is mapped by Kingkiller. Welcome. Kingkiller is a pretty potential mapper in both 4K and 7K. And since we were lacking mappers for 7K, why not have him mapping our foot for our tournament and have him debut with this absolutely adorable custom song? This map is 5.23 and we'll be slotting in for our consistency focused hybrid. Usually you guys call it generic hybrid, but I don't know, I just like the word consistency better because people kind of root the word generic for me as something bland and boring. So I do not believe this map is boring. So consistency focused hybrid. Well, it's time for our next map. So far the maps have been unranked. We will be having a ranked map for our next pick. The technical hybrid, which will be Spato, Spy and Spice, made by Garalulu.
Yeah, it's really a pretty old map. I used to practice this map before.
Compared to our generic hybrid, we do see more usage of the mini jacks, which immediately make the map much more unorthodox to hit and execute in general. There's also more of the coordination aspect, contrary to the density nature of the LNs in Hybrid 1. Though it doesn't feel as hard to act if you are already very familiar with these slightly unorthodox movements. So I would personally call this more of like a wild card, but it's kind of not long enough to and very enough to be a mini tiebreaker, so it stays in Hybrid 2 for now. So this Mappool will have slightly generic hybrid lineup. Oopsies. Oh, this part spikes up quite a bit in density. Seems like the jack motions are not that gross, but I don't know. I'm not a 7K player. That will be up to you guys to judge. We do not talk about the background. I would also like to disclaim that I do not like too suggestive backgrounds, but a lot of Ozu players are kind of gooners, so let us just ignore this potentially enticing factor and move on to our final hybrid of the Mappool. Honestly, this is a pretty nice find from the map pullers. I kind of like this map. This will be Moonheart Mame Yudolfo remix by Juha. I have no idea why the remix part of the metadata is in the artist section, by the way. We have a 160 BPM hybrid, and then for Hybrid 2, and Hybrid 1 is 200 BPM. And this one is 175 BPM, so the BPM is fundamentally different from the rest of the hybrids, so it does wrap up our Mappool nicely. We get some more unorthodox releases for the intro, and some weird rhythms as well. Though it shouldn't be too much of a problem if you are already so familiar with how easy to catch the rhythms of the mania are. So the difficulty of this map will be more focused on how all-rounded the map is. On top of all these weird releases, we also have faster mini jacks and some more mixed. Oh, okay, these releases are very difficult to execute. In 4K, you honestly do not see these very often. They're a bit erratic to play, but we're already seeing it in a 7k Mappool of round of 16, so good luck, players. So far, the difficulty has been pretty focused on mini jacks for Rise and LN releases, weird releases for LN. So we will be having a switch up right here. We have some fast stamina-based court streams for Nevermind. They are also mixed with some mini jacks. So I guess you guys will be having some extra trouble trying to play this. The LNs are finally back. Somewhat similar to the intro, but in a more dense form. So that is about it for our mini tiebreaker. I sure hope the stream is not late because I've been looking in the editor to comment instead of the stream because the stream does not have any sound at all. And with that being said, we shall move on to the more, well, let's just say unorthodox section of the Mappool. It definitely will require a bit of extra precision into our first LN map. Let us switch the map right now. This will be Try This, also by Rivker. Again, Rivker made 2 custom maps for this round, which is a very pleasant surprise. Thank you so much, by the way. This is going to be our coordination release map. Hello, mom kinda got annoying with my stuff, so I had to mute myself for a bit. Anyways, we have very tricky releases coming up. This is definitely unconventional when we are reaching into 174 BPM 1/4. And it mixes between like half beat and quarter beat reverse shields. So it definitely will feel less like like your sense of rhythm and consistency will be less reliable when there are so many timing windows to consider, and they also overlap with each other. Some of them are like extending up to 3 beats, while some of them last only just a fourth of a beat if we consider this song to be one with 74 BPM. So this rap is honestly so tricky for coordination release. Yeah, I kind of got overwhelmed by this map. It's a bit troublesome to execute for anyone. So let us continue with our next pick. Not sure if any of you guys know TBOM is, but this is a stage 5 qualifiers of this tournament. It stands for, I believe, the Mania Brazil tournament. In the Brazil language, it is called Torneio Brasileiro de Mania 278. I'm not gonna bother like reading the numbers properly. I do not have the vocabulary knowledge to just do that. So let's just talk about the map instead. BPM for this map is going to be 140, and we are already having some very dense porcine noodles. They're also not very straightforward as well. Like, if you want to have something easy to act, then you will expect like everything to be 1/4, but here we still have many different lengths of LNs mixed in. They're definitely easier to catch up compared to LN1, but the physical aspect and the density definitely will drain you out and make you unable to keep track of everything properly. There are like a lot of variety in the density patterns, especially supported by the song's background rhythm, which is also a mix of many different snaps as well. There's like two. Actually, let me just talk about this part first. I believe this is not an easy part for any of you guys, having to deal with this kind of switch up in verses. Like, they are not very consistent to play, if at all. Like, if it's like full inverse for like 5 columns, then it's fine, but these inverses switch up every once in a while, so it's very questionable to keep track. And I also just realized that the map is 3 minutes and 17 seconds long. So on top of all the tricky density rhythms, there's also the stamina factor involved.
Yeah, I really understand why this map is OD5. Yeah.
Truly a 4.89 star rating moment. Honestly, it's still better than LN1, which is only like 4.12 stars, I believe. LNs are always so underrated, especially when they are not like staggered releases. Well, finally it ended. Congratulations, you have escaped the LN gauntlet and finally move on to one more LN gauntlet. Of course. You gotta get stuck with the noodles for one more map. Seems like our streamer is also not ready for the third LN map as well, but luckily our map pooling channel is clean up enough to just navigate around. So we will be having XNet's ASAP belonging in the K-pop 7k LN Cap 2. We'll be having an edit for this pick because of some intrusive elements that may hinder gameplay. So this being a wildcard pick is not going to be like conventional or like stereotypical as the usual coordination and density picks. So there will be especially more focus on these like transitions and mixed patterns. And it's especially apparent here when we have this mix of very dense, slow density, but also fast releases. And now we're into inverses. A lot of our okay, what is that long jack? I mean, you can just alt it with your two thumbs, but is it really a safe option? Maybe safer than those 1/6 inverses we just saw there, but I don't know, it's up to you guys to judge.
Yeah, so far this looks like a technical or like a wildcard LN pick.
Yeah, it is supposed to be the mixed LN pick.
Yeah, so we are heading with LN density with a lot of speedy and coordinations.
I would say that it's not density, like it looks dense, but being dense and like requiring many holds kind of imply coordination as well, because you have to control more fingers and have them do like simultaneous tasks at once. So it's much trickier than straightforward streams that doesn't require you to hold for too long. Oh yeah, those 1/6 votes are back. I think this will be a very like a killer part of the map aside from like all those inverses. Those inverses will drain your axe slowly, while the ones that burst and releases are just instant act drops. It's like truly evil. I don't know how you guys are going to deal with this. And if that's not enough, we have 180 releases now. This is absolutely bonkers. But finally, the Ellen Gauntlet has ended. Congratulations! Woohoo! Or is it? That is, if you guys consider the 50% of the LNs in the tiebreaker. It has not ended, guys. The Ellen Gauntlet will follow you until the end of time. I do want to face you with a disclaimer that this tiebreaker is not a custom song. VNMC7k is enough manpower to handle. It is too tiring. Please help. Okay, where is the map? Maybe I'll. Okay, here it is. Nice. This will be Telz's as. Let me just read the name as Telz's Piano Concerto for Quantum Mechanics. Cancel is pretty well known for these jazzy piano-based electronic pieces, and this specific song will be much more classical based as well, so there will be not a lot of electronic. It's also a collab with Raimu-kun, who is also a pretty good sound designer as well, so we'll be expecting some bangers for this one. So far, pretty Allen heavy. Each note is accompanied by an Ellen so far. So yeah, purely the Ellen Gauntlet of all time. And we have instantly, right as I said that, a pretty big burst of rise delay. And more of it coming up right now, accompanied by some Ellen inverses as well. And then we have Jax. Surprisingly, you would kind of expect a mono BPM tiebreaker to not have streams and jacks at the same time in their proper and raw fashion, but here we are. Hansel and Rabu-kun with their godly composing has included a variety of rhythms here, which allows us both inverses and chord streams and mini jacks and chord jacks. Indeed, a lot of variety, which is absolutely essential for a tiebreaker. Ooh, this part is a bit price heavy. There are some streams and slight jacks. The jacks are not dense, but they will definitely throw your sense of rhythm off if you're not prepared. You get 10 seconds of break time. I believe that is 10 seconds. And you are immediately thrown back to these chord streams. They get dense. Pretty dense. Okay, that's very dense. And now they're like lighter but more LN based. So if the patterns are dense, they're hard rise, and if the pattern is light, they're hard LNs. So there is really no escape from the difficult nature of this map. And it also switches back and forth into different patterns as well. You have like some delay streams, some LN coordination, some LN inverses, and then rhythm switches. there's really a lot to unpack in this map. Like I sure hope you are ready because this map is truly chaotic. Oh, oh, Mini Jacks. But guess what? It was harder. I believe without edits, that part is like very anti 7K, at least in this difficulty range between because it switches hands very quickly, and the edit was made to uh, partly change that pattern to be less tricky to play as well. Now this is the final course, which introduces this very hybridic pattern. We have streams, fast delay, escape patterns, some slight inverses, some port jacks, and then mini jacks, much faster tempo as well. These patterns really are relentless. This is really a scary conceptual for any player you have to deal with in their final map of the round. And as intensity spikes up in this final part, we have this long stream building up to this L density part. And finally, the map has ended in some basic releases. Not exactly basic. They are still tricky to actually, but definitely less stressful than the rest of the map so far. And that is finally going to be it for our Mappool showcase, but do not go yet. I did mention that a seeding review follows up from our Mappool showcase, so let us commence the seeding review. Of course, the viewers spike up at this very moment.
Yeah,
So,
this is the moment we are waiting for.
okay, seems like the sheet is broken. Like, or is it? Is it broken? Is it not? Okay, a few seconds to boot up all the necessary data needed for our seating review. Ro16 bracket a reality. It like with 11 players like yesterday, we cannot even make a round of 12, similar to MWC 24's round of 24. I absolutely do not want a flop like that. So thank you for the people who actually listened to our pleas and successfully played through a qualifiers run. We should be ready